Chapter 1. Resonance in the Noise. The hum was the first thing you noticed, or rather, the first thing you stopped noticing. It was the sound of deep space data flowing, cooling fans spinning, and quantum states being meticulously, endlessly calculated. The ambient white noise of the Kestrel Deep Field Array's Data Processing Center. For Dr. Eris Thorne, working late in the partitioned quiet of her analysis node, it was the sound of potential discovery, usually buried under terabytes of cosmic static. Tonight, however, the static wasn't the problem. Red flags littered the diagnostic logs of QProc Unit 7, the quantum coprocessor Eris herself had championed, designed to sift through the noise with algorithms inspired by quantum information theory. For 3 hours, Unit 7, tasked with analyzing the faint signals from a patch of sky nestled within Ophiuchus, had been throwing errors. Not the usual transient decoherent spikes or the occasional environmental interference blip. These were persistent, cascading, and utterly bizarre. Eris leaned closer, the glow of the monitor reflecting in her tired eyes. She ran the hardware integrity checks for the 4th time. Nominal, cryo-cooling stable, qubit coherence within acceptable parameters, except where the errors were corrupting the data stream itself. It was like chasing ghosts in the machine, ghosts that only appeared when the machine was looking intently at one specific, unremarkable sector of space, some 14 light-years distant. She pulled up the raw error logs again, pushing her glasses up her nose. The patterns weren't random. Random noise looked like, well, noise, a messy, unpredictable hash. These errors, however, they clustered. They formed sequences that shifted and evolved, almost like they were responding to the diagnostic pings she'd been sending. A query would go in, and the nature of the subsequent data corruption would subtly change, incorporating elements of the query's structure before dissolving back into its own strange rhythm. Hardware failure didn't do that. Cosmic ray strikes were stochastic, messy. Software bugs, while always possible, usually produced repeatable, logical failures, not this fluid, almost reactive strangeness. Her fingers flew across the console, isolating the affected data stream, trying to visualize the quantum state perturbations Unit 7 was reporting. The standard visualization tools choked, rendering abstract, chaotic geometries that flickered and warped. But beneath the apparent chaos, Eris felt a flicker of something else, a complex, repeating motif buried deep within the corrupted states. It wasn't a language she recognized, not mathematics as typically applied to signal analysis, but it felt structured, organized. Her breath caught. This was the feeling she chased, the hint of non-randomness, the whisper of intelligence hidden in the cosmic cacophony. But this wasn't a faint radio signal struggling against the background hiss. This was manifesting inside the most sensitive quantum processor on the planet, masquerading as system failure, as if the signal wasn't traveling through space in a conventional sense, but was somehow resonating directly with the quantum states themselves. Impossible. FTL signals were the stuff of bad sci-fi tropes, relegated to hyperdrives and plot contrivances. Entanglement allowed spooky action at a distance, yes, but not information transfer faster than light. It simply couldn't work that way. The laws of physics were clear. And yet, the data scrolling down her screen disagreed. The anomaly in Unit 7 was real. It was persistent, it was complex, it was targeted, focused entirely on the data originating from the direction of the Wolf 1061 system. Eris Thorne leaned back, the hum of the servers suddenly seeming louder, charged with an electric tension. Her mind, trained in the precise, often counterintuitive rules of the quantum world, wrestled with the implications. Every instinct honed by years of searching for the needle of intelligence in the haystack of the cosmos screamed that this was something profound. Forget radio waves, forget laser pulses. This felt different, deeper, like a plucked string resonating across dimensions she could barely conceptualize. It sounded insane. Voicing this suspicion would invite ridicule, skepticism, perhaps even questions about her fitness to lead the quantum analysis team. But the anomaly was there, a profound quantum resonance, detected not by a telescope dish, but by the delicate heart of an advanced computer, an impossible echo from a dim red star. She saved the logs, encrypted the files, and initiated a deep passive recording protocol for Unit 7, setting triggers for specific pattern variations she was beginning, tentatively, to recognize. The first step, she knew, wasn't to announce. It was to understand, to prove, first to herself, that she wasn't chasing ghosts. She just had to decode the resonance. To be continued soon, right here.